Hey, ordinary old guy in the old garage gym. Today things are shut down. It's a bit weathery, a little cold and wet and all that stuff. So, that being said, this is shoulder exercise rehab part two. Posted one. You can check it out there. I'm just sharing what's happening for me and what's going on. And I know when I first had a shoulder injury, I did YouTube searches up and down all over the place, and I had a really tough time finding something that made sense. We're fit, trying to figure out what's wrong. Is it the supraspinatus? Is the infraspinatus? Is it the labrum? Is what's going on? And all this stuff. And it's been a battle, of course, down the medical route of like trying to get it to another elevated level. And I shared what was going on for my PT exercises and what was going on in my other video as to why I ended up where I am and what I'm doing. And this is just for me, and I was just sharing it, right? So it's, if you got an issue, you got to see a doctor first and help them figure it out, because the shoulder's so complex and there's so many things, and there's all this cookie cutter stuff that, maybe it doesn't apply to me, maybe it doesn't apply to you. But I did have my follow-up, so I've had another appointment with my PT, and I did get a couple more exercises. So I will share those real briefly and real quickly on this. This isn't going to be a long video, and then other than that, I will move on. But I got to give the lowdown on, okay, what does this mean anyways, before I get to the two exercises. But again, this isn't going to be long, and I'm going to share that. So, just for your own personal interest, so to speak. And again, you can always go back to the other one if you ended up here because somehow you're thinking, oh, I have a shoulder injury and maybe there's something here that can help you, right? So that being said, the PT person said at the end of my most recent visit that there's pretty much nothing else that we can do on the PT front. So what does that mean? Okay, well, that means, I guess, if I were to try to escalate my complaint and or say, in essence, yeah, it's really impacting my life and I can't do anything and I can't function, then it would go to maybe looking into something much more invasive in the direction of shoulder replacement surgery. Wow, that's pretty severe, pretty radical. I would hope that they would do maybe a little bit more exploration before jumping to something like that. But you never know. It's not where I am, and it's not what's happening. You see, I'm using my arm. Okay, my mobility is pretty good, all through the different ranges and exercises. And so, for me specifically, my issue happens when I'm more so extended. I'm extending out and straight ahead against something with pressure, or anything along an incline. Oddly enough, if I go way back here and I go straight up, I'm fine. If I'm coming from this direction up, or I'm doing any weight from this way up, it's fine. Down is fine. I don't get any clicking, clunking, or other discomforts going on in the shoulder joint. The minute I go to, like, I'm going to do a flat bench or anything like that, then yes, then it goes into, for me specifically, a clunking, which basically means, it's like something slipping. Like if you've ever stood on a snowboard and you're at a stop, but the snow gives a little bit, it's like, yeah, that's what the shoulder does for me, which is very uncomfortable and nerving. And then it does get sore. So I am supposed to avoid that situation, because perhaps over time, and that could get worse, of course. The diagnosis, so to speak, is moderate arthritic shoulder joint, maybe close to past moderate, but diagnosed as moderate. And I'm having this issue. So again, hey, you know what? I'm near middle 50s and stuff like that, but it's pretty ridiculous. That being said, this one's not too happy anyways. I've been doing the exercises. What has helped? Has anything helped? Okay, I have experienced some little differential. One of the side exercises I do, I have no issue with that. The pulling, what would be a row, but not so much a bent over row. Yeah, no problem there. The pillowcase one, interestingly enough, has gotten less problematic for me. It could be because I'm trying to push less against the wall when I do it, and so that I'm able to work better that way. And the other one with the tap, apparently I don't have to alternate. I can just stay with just this one and just do tapping this way because I'm trying to build the stability here in the shoulder. So without further ado, again, you didn't see those, go check them out. But I will show you the next two that I got added to it. Very quick, very brief, pretty simplistic, not too much differential here. Okay, so I'm gonna come back around, and the addition I got to one of the exercises is kind of like the tapping one, but this time I have permission, and it was okay for me to actually, you know, try to do a little bit more like a push-up, and actually go ahead and do a push-up. Not all the way down, but just partially down. But the key to this is, right, so historically you do a push-up and I would try to, like, you know, make sure I have my chest out and all this stuff. This is focusing on rounding up. So you're supposed to be going down a little, and then when you press out, you round up. So I'm really arching up, like I'm doing something where, like, if I was here and you could from the side, I'm pushing, and then I'm like doing this. It's more about trying to, I guess, get the scapula to round, which is, you know, kind of the opposite of what I've been trying to do. I'm focused on the chest, but since this is for the shoulder, I guess that's the exercise to do. So it's a partial thing. I don't have a problem with that, and my shoulder doesn't clunk around in that sort of experience. Again, it's more so when I'm farther out that it becomes a problem. Now, if I was farther out and I'm rounded, then that's the worst. But it also doesn't like being out and kind of back anyway. So that's the new one that was added for me to do, and I'm supposed to do that one quite a bit, and that's still on top of the other exercise that I was doing. It's called a scapular protraction, I guess is what its technical name is. And I'm supposed to do reps of 10, 3 sets every day on that one. And the other exercise I will show here, let's see if I have some room. Maybe what I'll do here is I'll move this. Okay, and so I'll just back up here. And for this exercise, you can use a weight, and when I was there, it was a little 3-pound weight, I think is what he gave me. And it's with my thumb out, so right, so if you're going thumb out this way, so sideways, and it's just going up, you know, it's supposed to be slow. All this is supposed to be very slow and focused, and try to make that connection and making sure the muscles are firing and all that, and you hold for 5 seconds, and then you slowly come down. For me, this exercise, it's supposed to be in a V. That was the original design, to go up in a V. Doesn't work for me. I can't, that's, you know, I cannot do it. It clunks, with just even a 3-pound weight. It doesn't feel stable with no weight. If I go forward, it doesn't feel good. Like, it feels like it's going to slip, but I'm like really squeezing to keep it in place, just doing this for me. If I go all the way out here, I'm fine. So there's a point at which in my angle, it starts to clunk. So I'm supposed to try to maybe get as close to that as I can without it happening. And maybe I can continue inching a little bit more and more, but who knows? It just takes a lot of focus and a lot of effort and a lot of attention to do that. And that one's called the standing single arm shoulder abduction with dumbbell thumbs up. That's its full name. So I'm doing that for reps of 10, 3 sets, hold for 5 seconds, and I do that, and that's supposed to be daily. That's on top of the other exercise from the other thing. I'm not going to get any more exercises. They pretty much kicked me out. They don't want anything to do with me. I'm just costing them money. So who knows, maybe they don't want me to do anything radical, because then I'll have to go on disability, and I don't know, whatever. You got me. So that's what I've got. That's what's going on. That's where my journey is at this point. I am And the discussion is, well, can I actually start to work out? Can I do things? Is this bad? Is it going to get worse? It is what it is. From all the other routines and stretches and movements the guy put me through with my range of motion, he doesn't feel as though there's anything in there from the standpoint of a tear or a disconnection or whatever. Anything along a more like, oh, very obviously severe situation. Because it should show or tell in some of those movements, and I don't experience like any sharpshooting pain, and my range of motion is pretty good. I just, those certain degrees, that's it. It goes, it's gone. It's not there, no stability. Other than that, it's okay. So will I be doing more damage? All this stuff, that was all the things I was concerned and worried about. No. So I'm going to try to experiment and work around what I can do. I'll have to see if like, hey, I'm doing, just an easy bar curl. Is my shoulder feeling okay? I'm doing some shrugs. Does it feel okay? When it comes to chest stuff, I have no idea. I kept adjusting on that for quite some time. I kept trying to fight off not being able to do a chest exercise. I'll go back to that. I'll probably have to stay with dumbbells. To be able to do that and what my hand position is. I don't know what else I can do. I guess at this point, as long as it doesn't clunk for me or move, it's okay. Any inflammation is too much, but you want inflammation. So anyways, it's gonna get complicated. I guess at the end of the day, I'm going to try to start to work out again after a year and a half plus of not working out. And I can say my strength and my capacity to do anything is insanely gone. These exercises leave me incredibly sore and they're hard to do. Versus I can sit there and go, wow, I could do this with this weight, not that long ago. And it was easier and I didn't feel it as bad. So it's definitely going to be a huge uphill battle, and I don't know how that'll be, but I'm going to give it a go and see what happens. Thanks for stopping by. I hope it helped you in any way, shape, or form, or whatever. Again, number one advice is, hey, go get a doctor and press on it and push and push and push. And I don't mean just with your shoulder. I mean, it took me a lot of times of like, no, I want more. No, I want more. No, I want more, again and again and again and again, to get to a place where at least I feel as though I've been at least somewhat fairly assessed. Okay, not on an expert level. I think if you pay out of pocket and go outside the box and you go to a sports medicine specialist, you probably get dialed in, but that's not what happened for me. And hey, go check out other videos. Go look at some old ones when I actually did work out or something. They're not pretty. They're not good to look at, but hey, whatever. But thanks for stopping by. And I'm going to keep trying to keep things rolling and see if I can keep keeping people inspired, 50 plus, trying to do something. And even for those of you who are not, just trying to figure out a way to work out when your shoulder doesn't want to. All right? Thanks for stopping by.